Hey guys, Marcy here, Cranky Crafter. I thought today we could do kind of like a Masterboard. You could use it for ATCs, or maybe if you have a Rolodex, or you could do anything with it really. If you wanted to cut it up and just use it as background papers, you could do that too. I'm gonna do mine on this watercolor paper. It's 9 by 12, 140 pound cold press. I'm just gonna do one sheet, which I already have pulled out. If I were going to be doing actual watercolor, like images, like I've done before for like a greeting card or something like that, I probably wouldn't use this particular paper. I actually prefer 100% cotton paper when I'm doing like real watercolor. But since this is just going to be a background that I'm going to apply some watery, colory type mediums to, I'm not overly concerned about it. I thought that we could try out these Lindy's Magicals. I've had these for a really long time. I don't use them very often. I should use them more often. Can you guys see me? Am I in frame? There. But first, I had this idea that I want to put some white paint down, like in circles. Big surprise, right? And I'm hoping, and we're going to go through this together because I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm hoping that the white paint will be almost like a resist. I think you can use, yeah, okay, this bottle is almost out. I think you can use gesso as resist as well, but I wanted to try white paint today for some reason. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to use this lid. It's off of my bleed proof white paint that I sometimes will use for splatters when I'm doing watercolor. But this lid looked like it would make a great flat circle. So we're going to try it. I'm just going to set that paint over to the side. Is this going to work how it, whoa, does in my head? No clue. We're going to find out. I'm just going to kind of put them random. And then they're not even, I don't know if you can see this if I get up closer. They're not even necessarily full painted circles. I mean, the shape is there, but as far as it being like solid paint all the way through, not all of them are. So that's okay. My goal with this is, well, with everything, is that it doesn't turn out horribly, but is that the little magical powders that are essentially like powdered watercolor almost will kind of resist, if you will, the circles. Does that look good? I think it does. I think I want to do one more right here, half one. Well, that's kind of like a circle, not really, but we're going with that. And now, sorry, I have to move. I was standing to check the placement of my paper because I've been doing the tags so much that I haven't had something this large on here. I'm going to just dry this for a really fast second. I can't even talk right now. I'm going to pause you and then I'll come back. Okay, I think this is pretty dry. I think you can see, hopefully, a little bit on there. I've taken the time to get out the little pots of powder. And I also pulled my Distress inks down because I think I want to start by putting some yellow on the background. There are several ways that you can do this technique. Some people will use like plastic sheets from like packaging. Other people will use like their stamp blocks. You can do that. I tend to, I'm going to move that out of the way for just a minute. I tend to put mine right on my work surface. These are just the Distress inks, not the oxides. This one is fossilized amber and the other one is wild honey. We're just going to go with this and see how it works out. Might not work out. And then I spray it with a little bit of water. And I just then turn my paper over and kind of pick it up in random places. And it's always a big surprise on what it looks like when you're done. This is where we're at right now. I'm going to wipe this down and add a little bit more. I have my stamp pads in the minis. I'm not sure why. I guess at the time that's what I did. And then I think actually one of my girlfriends sent me some too. And hers were also minis. And I'm like, I'll use them. Like that. That looks kind of fun, right? And you can kind of see better. I'm going to stand up. Like where the white circles are. Especially this one. That's kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to pause you again for a second. So one of the biggest tips when you're doing backgrounds that are dealing with watercolor kind of mediums is if you don't want the colors to blend, you want to make sure that you dry in between each layer. You guys probably already know that, but that's what we did. I just dried that because now I'm going to bring in some of these powders. I have this like dollar store spray bottle that we'll use, but I also have this little mini mister by Ranger. I thought we could try that too because the water comes out of here definitely in more of like a spray as opposed to like droplets. So that might make things look differently. So I thought we would use this Red Hot Poker Orange and this Autumn Maple Crimson, sorry, at least to start. We may or may not bring in this Cattail Copper Brown. That's what I'm feeling right now. We'll see how it goes. So these do not have a shaker on them. I think they have since put like a shaker on the top, kind of like you get on spices. But I've had these for such a long time. They're just open. So I use one of these little fan brushes and I kind of dip it in You don't need a lot at all because the color is quite vibrant. And then I kind of tap it on, just in different spots. This is just one technique that you can do with these. Because they also come already, they come with like spray pumps. You can purchase them that way. And then you add water to them and it just stays in the pump, like in the spray pump. I think I actually have some of those. I do. Like this. These are the Starburst sprays. So they send you like this little pump and the powder, and then you just add it and, you know, make it, and it stays in here. Whereas these little pots are just the powder, and then you can choose how you want to apply them. So I thought we'd try it like this way. So then I'm going to come in with this little sprayer. And these are, what's the word I'm looking for? Variegated quite a bit. Like, can you see the so many different flecks of color? And then I can come in with a paper towel and kind of blot some of it up if it's, you know, not doing what you want it to do. And I may actually even come in with some of these, but we'll see how it goes. So I got a call from my ma and my aunt this morning. Usually we will FaceTime on like a Saturday because my ma will go over to visit my aunt. They'll have lunch and get their craft on. They like to do a lot of artsy, craftsy stuff as well. And they will typically FaceTime me just so that we can check in or whatever. Then you can just move it around however you want to do whatever it is you want it to do. But today is not Saturday, as I'm sure most of you know. Yet I got a phone call and they're like, we heard something. Oh boy. No telling what that is. And they're like, we heard you had a YouTube channel. Why didn't you tell us? I said, well, I didn't talk to you on Saturday. And I've just had it maybe for not even a whole week yet. I would have told you if I talked to you on Saturday, but I didn't. So there's that. And so I had to go through the whole channel. Like, I had to tell them what the channel name was, and they had to type it into the TV. And then, sorry, Laura, but not sorry. They also typed in Half-Ass Crafter, and they're going to be coming after your channel too. Coming after, that's kind of harsh. It just means that they'll be taking part and watching all your shenanigans over there as well. But now, of course, now I got to watch what I say, right? Because that's my ma. I mean, come on. Not really. I can say whatever I want. Do we want... That's, I mean, to me, that's very pretty, but I feel like I want some more on the edges. So I think maybe some more orange, because it kind of went away. So just tap, 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 and then you add the water afterwards. I suppose you could spray your whole paper and then add water and see how it goes. But you see how, since I did not dry in between, the colors, you know, are kind of bleeding together, which is totally fine. But if you're using colors that, you know, are going to make mud, then you just have to be a little bit mindful of that. And look at the white. I didn't know how that was going to go, but it looks all right. I think I need another paper towel. Do we need a different color on here? Like, maybe, do we want to try this color? Tibetan Poppy Teal. I'll try it, but I think I want to dry it first. So I'm going to pause you a sec. Okay, and this isn't fully dry. It's still a little bit damp. But with all things watercolor, which basically that's what these powders are, they will dry lighter than what you see them as when they're wet. So just keep that in mind too. Like if you want a really bold color, it's going to be a little bit less that when you get it fully dry. That's just what watercolor does. So I'm going to add some of this, oops, upside down, Tibetan Poppy Teal. I don't think I want a ton, but a little might be nice, because there's already a little bit that came across in the from the orange pot. So I went to feed and water the dogs this morning. I'm doing that for a friend, in case you guys didn't watch those videos that talked about that. And are you guys dog people or cat people? You can be both. I suppose there's nothing saying that you can't be both. This could be very controversial. I would say that I am definitely a dog person. I don't have anything against cats necessarily, but I am allergic to cats, so that's probably part of the reason. But I also find them, they can be a little sneaky buggers. And this gal that I'm helping out while she's on vacation, she has outdoor dogs, but she also has some like barn cats. And I have to feed both of them. So I was there doing my normal routine, and when I arrive, I feed the cats first, which is like over at a shop area, because one of the dogs will eat all of the cat food if the cats don't have the opportunity to eat their own food first. Okay, I'm gonna pause you a sec. Okay, we're back. And the paper gets kind of distorted when you use a dryer. Again, this isn't fully dry. It still has a little bit of damp to it. But can you guys see the, yes, Marcy, because you're holding it up like super close. These powders have like mica in them. So you can see they're very shimmery. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm done with adding the different background colors. So what I want to do is add some black circles. So I just have my black acrylic paint. And I have a couple of different tools that I pulled out of my mark making bucket. And we're going to try this and see how it goes. So dip the, whatever you're using, circle, whatever tool you're using, dip it into the paint so that it has somewhat of a full coverage, and it very well might not be all the way full, and that's okay. So I realized I cut that off right when I was starting to tell a story. So I feed the cats first, because otherwise one of the dogs will eat all of their food. And she still will, when she gets done with her food, go over and eat their food. But at least then they have somewhat of an opportunity to try to eat their food first. So feed the cats, come back over, and that's fun. I like how those are kind of double like that. I don't think I'll do them all that way, but I do like that. It's fun. And I'm getting the dogs fed, and then I realized that, you know, they have one of those self-waterers because they're outdoor dogs, and it was almost empty, so I'm attempting to get the darn jug off so that I can fill it. Well, I can't get the jug off. Like, I can't get it detached. I'm thinking it just like screws off. It's just like a big plastic jug, and you know, it sets in there and then the water comes out. I'm thinking it just like screws off. No, it's not. It doesn't. So I'm like, got one foot on the base and I'm trying to screw it. I'm trying to like figure it out, see what the heck's going on. I'm using this little tube from something. Couldn't tell you now what it was from, but and got water now all over my socks because I have on like garden clogs, right? Just water everywhere. And I'm like, Marcy, what are you doing? I think that's enough of that. And while I'm like bent over trying to get this figured out, one of the cats comes and jumps right on top of my back. Okay, why is it that when you're allergic to cats, it's like they have a sixth sense and they know that, and so then they want to be all over your person? Is that a real thing, or is that just, does that only happen to me? I don't know, but all I know is I'm like, okay, kitty, 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 I'm trying to do something. I'm working real hard here, and cat's just on my back. So I'm trying to figure out, I mean, I can just stand up, right? But that seems a little aggressive, because then he's gonna fall. Like, I'm not tall, but you know, they need to save all of their lives that they have, even though there's 9 of them. Okay, I want to come in with some of these art crayons. What color? I just want to do like some extra mark making. Do we think yellow or this color? What color is this? Pomegranate. That's fun, isn't it? Or I don't really have a, oh yes I do, a turquoisey one. No, I don't want that. Maybe I can do some of both of these. That might be fun. So yeah, here I am bent over, socks soaking wet, shoes all sloppy, sloshy, you know, and Still haven't figured out how to get the jug off the water, and now I have a cat on my back. I can't make this stuff up. This is what happens. I don't know. So eventually I'm like, kitty, 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 you know, talking to the cat, because isn't that what you're supposed to say to cats? I'm going to turn this a little bit just because this black might still be a little wet. And eventually I was able to kind of like grab around, you know, your back with one arm and maneuver the cat off of my person. And then we had to have a talk, right? I'm like, personal space, dude. That's a thing. We want to keep that. That's important to me, personal space. So next time, how about you ask first? Use your words. I love these Marabu art crayons. They are water soluble. So like if I wanted to come in with a wet brush, I could make them look kind of like watercolory. I'm not going to do that this time, but if I wanted to, I could. I think I've done it maybe in some of the tags that I made. I think I might use this, cut it up and use it for the start of a background for, am I completely off? No, thank you. For my Rolodex, because Laura over at the Half-Ass Crafter, she, of course, I think I'm gonna, do I want to do more dots? No, dots are the theme. Circles the theme. Can I go outside of the theme? Can I do that? Should I do more yellow dots, or should I do like X's? Or maybe large, oh, I'll just do larger circles. I have a hard time going away from circles, you guys. Look, now I have black paint on me. She started this, oh, bother. It's fine. New series, 20-minute Tuesday, or is that what it is, Laura? 20-minute Thursday. Basically, it's where you, oh, for Pete's sake, Marcy. Set a timer and art for 20 minutes. That's the whole premise. Fantastic idea. I think she's brilliant. Except for the fact that the timer gives me anxiety. Like, I don't like being timed like that. It reminds me of, do you remember that game that we could play back in the day? Only my friends had it. I didn't have it at my house, but it was like Perfection or Superfection or something like that. It was like where you had to put all the shapes in, but there was a timer going, and it was like tick, 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 and then it started going really faster, and then when the timer was up, it was like boom, and everything popped up out of everywhere. Okay, that's just making people have anxiety issues. Those are the kind of toys that we had growing up. Great. They were perfect. Do we want to go in with like maybe like a stamp? What do we think about that? I think we can go in with a stamp, and then we can probably call it a day. And then after I'm done with you guys, I probably will let it dry fully, and then I'll have to measure and cut and see what, because I don't know off the top of my head what size those Rolodex cards are. But then I'll bring them back next time and show you how it, because whenever you cut it, it always looks different. It's way fun, but it's, you know, each card has a little bit of everything. Okay, what do we want to use for a stamp? You know I like numbers. And I also like the gibberish stamp. Do we want to use, oh, let's use this one. This one's kind of fun. It's just, looks like, you know, a ledger or something. Let's get my block. I know I'm probably out of frame right now because this paper is larger than the tags. I'm new at this, guys. Just have to go cut me a break, okay? Just gonna put these a little bit. And I don't really mind if they're not fully inked. Because it's, you know, it's just going to be the background of whatever I decide to turn it into. See, like these, it didn't even do the whole stamp. That's okay. What do we think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need one more. In the middle. How about here? Should I go this way? Thanks. Thanks for telling me that. 10. I think I need 2 more. Because I like how it crisscrosses. Like that one is, it just makes your eye, it's nice. It's appealing to the eyeball. Or at least I thought it was. Okay. There we have it. I think we're going to call that good. And I'm going to let it dry fully before I cut it, because I don't want to smear it and stuff. But I will show them to you after they're all cut, because it will definitely, they'll take on a new life. But let's see. Now that it's starting to dry, you can see, oh, totally bumped the light, sorry. You can see the shimmers. Like, can you see this one here? I really need to get a new light set up, but I can't really do that right now. When my ma and Aunt Gail were on FaceTime with me, of course, they had to pull up my channel right away. Look, I just got paint all over. And they watch from their TV, great big screen TV, and it didn't look that fantastic on our TV. Granted, I was on FaceTime, so I wasn't there seeing it. But the lighting didn't look that great. So I apologize if you guys aren't having the best viewing experience. I will try to remedy it when I'm able to do that. But in the meantime, this is what I got to work with. So hopefully it's okay for a little bit. Okay, so I'll dry it and cut them, and then I'll see you next time.